In 2022, during the corona lockdown, I chased the most amount of pleasure. I was playing video games every day for hours. I was watching anime a lot, and I was thinking that by doing those activities, those fun activities, I will have fun. The funny thing is that during that period of time, I became extremely depressed, and I started to really hate my life. Now, after 3 years of dedicating my life into self-development, I've realized what are the 3 mistakes that makes most men pretty damn unhappy. By fixing them, I promise you that your life will become a lot better and you will become happier, because that's what happened to me, the first mistake. And it is not realizing the duality of life. So I told you that back then, when I was pursuing the most amount of pleasure, I was depressed. And this is why, because I abstained from pain, from suffering, from training, from reading books and doing the type of stuff that I knew that is good for me. And the consequence of that is that I didn't feel pain, and the pleasure that I felt was not that high. And this is why, because for us to feel pleasure, we have to feel pain. And when there is no pain, there is no pleasure, there is nothingness, just pure depression. And that's why we should embrace a chosen pain, like running and training and meditating and reading, those type of pretty painful activities. Because by choosing this type of pain, we are not only becoming stronger, smarter, better, happier, more fulfilled, also we increase the quality of pleasure in our lives. We become happier. And then the second mistake that most people make, this is a mistake that I have made back then a few months ago. I think that a lot more men than we realize make this mistake, and you might be making it too. So between 8 to 6 months ago, I reached a pretty low point when it comes to this channel. I got very little to no views on each one of my videos, and I was uploading a video a day, meaning that I spent a few hours every day making videos, but I saw no results, and that made me pretty depressed. And you might be feeling this feeling too. Sometimes this feeling of numbness, of nothingness, it is not pain and it isn't pleasure. It's just a pure lack of motivation, of desire to do anything. We don't like this feeling, and I found a way to remove it, basically. And here it is. So I found it by deconstructing this feeling by itself. What is depression? It is a lack of perceived possibilities, because back then when I got 10, 20, 30 views per video, it was because of my lack of competence at the time. But I was too ignorant to realize it. And that's how you avoid this mistake. You continuously educate yourself. So there are 2 types of education, about how and about what. It's basically what you need to do versus how you do it. And you need to basically find the kind of education that suits your current scenario and basically pursue it and learn how you can get out of this rut. Instead of staying at it and feeling demotivated and feeling like a victim, stop victimizing yourself and start learning. Now the third mistake, and it is basically a contract that we make with ourselves to feel unhappy because of who we are, and it is basically feeling insecure. So you might not know it about me, but I'm pretty short. My height is 5'7", and because of that, back then 2 years ago, I felt supremely insecure. I hated myself because of that. I basically signed an invisible contract to feel unhappy because of who I am. And you might have insecurities too that you hate about yourself, and this is how I got over my own insecurity. So basically back then I knew that there are short men out there that doesn't feel insecure. I knew that it is a possibility, so I decided to do one very important thing that I saw all of those men do. I stopped to consider it a bad thing, and I forced myself to see the good things about it. And at first I still stayed insecure for sure, but the thing that most people don't realize about our realities, and it is that most of it is not objective. Our reality follows our beliefs, it confirms it basically. And as we plant new positive beliefs and we start to force ourselves to believe them, our reality will started to change accordingly. And that's how I stopped to feel insecure. I forced myself to see my insecurity as a good thing. I forced myself to see proof to the other side. Now bro, if you enjoyed this video and you want to tell it to me, do this one thing: criticize me harshly, because I might be completely wrong about stuff. I want you to basically correct me by criticizing me so I can grow. And by me growing, I will spread a more positive message, and it is a win-win situation for both of us. And if you don't want to, you can just like and subscribe. I will see you tomorrow.